Mia, you appear to have been lying behind my back. I anticipated more from my daughter.
Hello, Dad. What exactly do you mean? I haven't lied about anything. Did I make a mistake? This is the first time in a long time that you've been upset with me. It reminds me of coming home late from high school.
Mia, don't be a fool. I'm aware of your activities. You'd think you'd be able to keep pretending to go to work without my noticing? Your secret didn't stay concealed for long. I learned that you left your firm. What exactly do you believe you're doing? That's not typical of you. I want you to advance in your profession. I called your firm, and they informed me of everything.
It's not like I was deceiving you, Dad. Sure, I didn't tell you, but that doesn't imply I was attempting to keep it from you. Why did you bother calling my work in the first place? That is really disturbing. I'm no longer a child. You don't have to take care of me.
I'm just checking in to make sure you're making the correct choices and remaining on track. I was wondering if you were making any headway at work. I was expecting they'd inform me about your promotion, but they told me the exact opposite.
That's a lot of money invested in my future. Dad, I believe you should back off a little. I've grown into a self-sufficient lady.
Regardless, who you are reflects on me. A parent's most valuable asset is his or her own child. I can't let you deviate from your road to success or I'll fail as a parent. Don't you see where I'm going with this?
True, but I believe you went too far in referring to my work. It has nothing to do with you whether or not I get promoted at work. This is my life.
It is critical that you understand this. You'll soon have children and face the same dilemma I'm experiencing.
What exactly do you mean by gifts and potential? I've never heard you mention it before. I'm the same as any other lady.
My blood is coursing through your veins. It is your responsibility to put the gifts I have placed upon you to good use. I've spent my entire life making sure you're exposed to experiences that will help you grow into a lady. You have no idea how much time I've given up for you.
Okay, so you want me to tap into a lot of potential. Sorry about that, Dad, but this seems absurd. Is it that important to you? Please stop making a fuss about it and take my life.
What exactly do you mean by ridiculous? This is really crucial to the majority of parents. Maybe you'll recognize it when you have your own children.
It's okay, Dad. I understand why you're so excited about this. You recently had to retire and now have a lot of free time. As a consequence, you're bored and seeking some drama to spice up your monotonous life. Look, I know you must feel lonely and bored, but you still have your wits about you, and your body is competent as well. Why don't you search for another job? If you did that, I'm sure you'd discover a new meaning in life and wouldn't care what I did with mine. What are your thoughts? Doesn't this make sense?
If you believe I'll start working again, you're out of your element. Do you realize how much I've worked in my entire life? I worked my tail hard to make sure I could start you off on both a foot can stand firm on the ground. I've worked for nearly 40 years, so I believe I've deserved a break.
I'm sure this isn't the first time the notion has occurred to you. I've already spoken with Mom. She informed me that you had received an opportunity to re-enter the employment from a reputable organization. Not only that, but they were ready to pay you a fantastic price because of your expertise, putting you well ahead of everyone else working there. Then she informed me that you had turned them down. How could you possibly? Other folks would kill for such an opportunity. That was a terrible decision, Dad. That kind of stuff doesn't happen every day.
Don't act as if you're thinking about what's best for me. I know the actual reason you want me to re-enter the employment. You're bankrupt. Accept it. You've recently lost your job and don't have a steady source of income. You're weary of being an adult and wish to be a youngster who is supported by her father. Isn't it true that I'm correct?
Dad, come on. Don't be a moron. That's a complicated excuse to leave my work. Nobody would leave and attempt to make their father work to support them.
You can attempt to cover it up by calling it a ridiculous notion, but I can see you thinking about it after a long day at work. You're bored of working, admit it. You thought you could get away with it if I put my suit back on and went back to work for the family.
That is really insulting. Do you honestly think I'm the sort of daughter who would swindle her father? What have I ever done like that before? Besides, even if I wanted to be financially supported by you, I already know you're not the sort to do so. The concept of receiving money from you has never occurred to me.
If you were more like your little sister, you would receive a lot more affection from me. Since you resigned your work, the chasm between you and Grain has become even wider. She worked hard to become an amazing lawyer, and now she works around the clock to make ends meet. Have you received her good news? She is being considered for the position of official lawyer due to her effort and devotion. She's just been there for 2 years.
I know. She told me everything. Since the beginning, she has been a diligent worker. I believe she will go far in life.
You couldn't be more proud of your daughter. Then there are you, the failure who was denied admission to university. You got yourself into a corporation by some miracle or stupid luck. It was a little, unidentifiable one. Then, despite your incredible luck in obtaining job, you resign after only a few years? Something like that requires enormous hubris.
You have nothing to do with my decision or what I do with my life. I'm not spending my life to please you and get your respect. You have no authority to tell me what I can and cannot do. I've reached adulthood. I have the option to leave my employment if I so want.
Then, despite your incredible luck in obtaining job, you resign after only a few years? Something like that requires enormous hubris.
You have nothing to do with my decision or what I do with my life. I'm not spending my life to please you and get your respect. You have no authority to tell me what I can and cannot do. I've reached adulthood. I have the option to leave my employment if I so want. You may call me pompous as much as you want. You have no idea how I feel or what my wishes are.
Where do you gain the right to say anything like that? It is my right, as your father, to instruct you what to do. You abandoning your work lowers your worth as a woman even more. What sort of parent would I be if I just let my children make errors for the rest of their lives? I've had this problem with you my whole life. You've never got the tenacity that Grain does. I've done my best to steer you in that path, but my efforts are always in vain.
Isn't it about time you stopped contrasting me to Grain? So what if I'm not up to her expectations? Even if I don't work, I generate my worth as a woman. Don't you believe that the reason I'm not doing as much as I could is because you continuously put me down? What's the purpose of trying if I'll never be able to compete with Grain?
I never said you had to be like Grain, but I'm surprised you've never attempted to emulate her. She's been a track and field athlete since she was a tiny child, and she's always been at the top of her class in terms of academics. Just to put the frosting on the cake, she happily inherited her father's good looks and is a huge hit with the lads. You, on the other hand, resemble your unattractive mother in too many ways. There is no work ethic, athletic skill, or feminine appeal.
Say whatever you want about me, but don't ever attempt to disparage Mom. You had no right to dismiss her when she was the only fair parent between the two of you. She admired Grain's wonderful qualities in the same way she admired mine.
She just offered you attention because you reminded her the most of herself. I think losers want to hang out with each other so they can commiserate about how terrible they are.
You've been married to your mom for 40 years, and you know she's not that sort of person. Her heart is not filled with animosity. She never thinks ill of her children or makes fun of them. I'm not sure how she could marry such a terrible man as you. She married you because she requires the support of a capable man. Don't assume she loved you completely. She was probably sorry for how unattractive you were and believed you needed the additional attention to feel valuable. Have you not considered what qualities you have to deserve her? If you don't have any qualities, you won't even be able to financially support yourself. You live by relying on others but are proud of yourself for trying. You pretend to try for someone to see.
What are you talking, Mia? If she truly loves you, why would she tell me she wants to toss you away after hearing you leave the company? Is she also dissatisfied with your choices? Just so you know, the fact that you've resigned your work does not imply that we're cutting back on your spending. You must still pay the entire amount of rent.
Without a doubt. I'm not expecting anything less. You don't have to pound me on it.
So, what's the game plan? Are you going to find a part-time work in the area? Good luck finding work after telling them you left because you were bored. Even a small firm in severe need would not recruit someone as indolent as you.
Don't worry, Dad. I have no ambitions to work for another firm. Not at all. I'm going to start my own business. I didn't tell anyone, but this is something I've been wanting to accomplish for quite some time. It's my fantasy.
That was a wonderful joke. I realize you don't have the technical skills or the drive to start your own business.
Why would I not? You have no idea how much information I've accumulated or what my skill set is.
Idiots like you tried to build your own money train and ended up scrounging for pennies on the street. I can easily picture you going into debt within minutes of starting your own business. I know you want to follow your passion, but have you ever thought your passion could feed your dream? How many people have failed? Why don't you think that a job at the company can give you a stable amount of money to take care of your family, just thinking about it? You'd be better off embracing your inability and getting back to work like everyone else. Filling your brain with lovely clouds won't bring you any money. When you start producing money again, you will be able to put more money into the home. It's about time you started contributing around here.
Sorry, Dad, but you have no voice in the matter. Regardless of what you believe, I'm going to pursue my ambition. Mom and Grain have already given me the thumbs up. They believe what I'm doing is fantastic and are eager to help me if I need it.
Did they truly? I have no clue what was going through their minds when they offered you everything for something so dangerous. It's wrong to give someone like you false hope. They're setting you up for failure, and it won't help you. If you want practical guidance, listen to your father.
Sorry, Dad, but I have to take this side. I don't want to hear from those who don't believe in me. I know it makes you feel unique to claim you're going to start your own business, but you're clearly simply fabricating an excuse to quit your current work. Don't be dumb. No one would take such a risk only to quit their work. I'm really excited about what I'm going to accomplish. I've even thought about how I'm going to get started.
Go ahead and do anything you want. But I've done my best to lead you in the right direction. If you want to end up on the streets, go ahead. Don't say I didn't make an effort to assist you.
I knew you wouldn't back me up, as usual. What can I anticipate? Why should it be any different now that I'm attempting to establish my own business, given how you've treated me my whole life?
You have no idea how embarrassing it is to have a child who never achieves anything in her life. Your actions have an impact on me.
That is not correct, Dad. I know you just have eyes for Grain. No matter how well I do in life, you'll never see me favorably. It's been like this since the beginning. You've always treated me as if I were in the way. But guess what? I don't care if you prefer Grain over me. I've accepted that I'll never receive your affection, and all I want is that you leave me alone. Bye, Dad. I don't want to listen anymore.
Mia, are you okay? I believe you are still somewhere in NYC begging. So you've done it in your own company? I'm not shocked you had the audacity to defy and offend me. If you listen to me, none of this will happen. Come back. I have found you a suitable position in the office. Salary $2,000, quite low, but at least it matches your ability. There you don't get to know me. Did you get it right?
I've created my own business, and I'm not as weak as you may assume. What do you think about it? You may insult and irritate me all you want, but it will not prevent me from chasing my ambitions.
What number of times did I have to say it? Building a new firm will not benefit you. You should have listened to what I said.
I was planning on doing it this way until you advised me not to. Sorry, Dad, but your desires are meaningless to me. You would have more influence over what I do if I were younger, but because I am an adult, you have no right to try to control me. I will not live my life in obedience to your wishes.
I'd be amazed if a firm you own could even turn a profit. Just 2 months and you'll be crying to me about going bankrupt. Let's hope I'm in a merciful and understanding attitude when that happens. I have not built up this company to fail. I've worked long and hard hours to ensure it's a top-notch, flawless solution that will not lose money.
You have no idea how much time and effort I've put into it. I didn't suddenly quit my job and start on the spur of the moment. I'd been saving up for this for years.
That's exactly what I'm referring about. That is the same thing that irritates me about you.
What are you on about? Making a perfect strategy and being completely committed to something?
No way, you moron. I'm referring to money. You've been saving money and paying us dirt for the house the whole time. Did you ever consider sending some of it our way? It's really selfish to take advantage of your parents' generosity and not repay them even a dime.
Why should I donate funds your way? Am I now a donation service? This is my hard-earned money, and I will spend it any way I see fit. By the way, it's not like I've been skipping house payments. I put in the exact amount we agreed on every month. I have not missed a single payment. Are you really something else you want to vent about? Because I'm currently quite busy. I'd like to return to my work.
Mia, it appears that you don't understand why I'm upset. Because you had enough money to establish your own firm, you had a substantial quantity of money that you might have contributed to us.
I had the money to spend in its initial place because I was wise and didn't waste it on frivolities.
In the first place, you don't have the authority to tell me what I wasted my money on. Even if I spent my money on frivolous purchases, it is still my money.
Why don't you simply shut up and admit that what you did was wrong? We spent a lot of money raising you, now it's your chance to give back. Anyway, Dad, what's done is done. I saved that money and used it wisely. My business is now up and running, so I'll keep continuing at the same pace.
If you believe things end that easy, you're incorrect. I'm not going to let you off the hook for this. I have a suitable penalty for such behavior.
Oh, yes? What exactly would that be? I'm already a self-sufficient lady with my own business, so it'll be difficult to harm me.
I believe this will cause you significant harm. I need you out of the home by today, and I'm not going to accept any excuses.
Are you serious about going that far?
I'm not sure why I didn't see this sooner, but having you here in the house serves no purpose. You're not only terrible with money, but you also don't do cleaning and are an unsightly sight around here.
That is not true, and you are aware of it. I've paid all of my bills and contributed my fair part around the house, and I'm absolutely contributing enough to remain here.
Not sufficient, I'm scared. I want you to leave my house, and I don't want to see you again. Pack your belongings and leave. By the way, if you even consider stealing any of our things, we'll find out right away. If it happens, don't think I'll hesitate to phone the cops.
You're dead serious right now. You really want to evict me?
This marks the end of our relationship as father and daughter. You are no longer a family member, friend, or even human being to me. If you were going down the street and saw me, you would look just like the others around you.
Do you truly despise me that much? How can you be so upset about me starting my own business? Any other parent would be proud of their child for doing something so extraordinary. I can't believe you'd kick your own daughter out of your house. Dad, that's a terribly juvenile move for a grown guy. I'm dissatisfied with you.
I don't want to hear you say the word father. You are no longer my daughter. To me, it will be as if you were never born. Every time your name is mentioned, I will have no idea who that person is.
You've made your case. I get what you mean. But don't think this bothers me. I've already taken a lot of abuse from you, so this is nothing. I've never been emotionally attached to you in the first place.
To believe you've been in this house for this long. Why hadn't I thought of this before? How much difficulty I could have avoided if I had gotten rid of you when you completed high school. You should appreciate mine and your mother's patience more.
We might debate whether bringing your own daughter home is kindness or simply basic sense. Even if you did me a favor, it would not compensate for the amount of abuse you've inflicted on me over the years. I'll never be able to repay you for the life you've given me.
Instead of wasting time devising clever counter-arguments to use against me, you could have focused your efforts on being a successful individual. Maybe if you stopped playing the victim all the time, you'd know I'd never do something like that.
You're not going to fool me, Dad. I know that no matter what I accomplished in this life, you would not respect your feelings for me. That's why I consider myself fortunate in certain ways. I don't have to live up to your expectations. I can do what I want without worrying about what you think.
Who knows what your mother was saying to you when I wasn't around? I understand Mom did not encourage you to perform your best in school. All of this discussion about positive parenting didn't help you.
You have no right to belittle her. She was a 1,000 times better mom than you. I'm not sure what I would have done without her. I was able to come up with all of your insults because of her soothing remarks at night. Who wonders where I would be now if she hadn't been there every night?
You just said putting up? Who are you to whine about having to put up with me? Did you ever consider that I may be the one standing up with you too? Every night after a long day at work, I'd come home to my dull wife and get into bed. The next day, I'd wake up to a loud, obnoxious daughter. Don't get the incorrect impression. I'm the one who has suffered throughout the years.
I don't care what you think of me. But don't you allow yourself to talk about my mother in that way? You have no clue what a wonderful person she is.
All of what I've stated about your mother is accurate. I'm not disparaging her, I'm only stating the facts about her personality. She's a useless woman who couldn't even clean the dishes when I wanted her to. She has no attractive features, no appearance, and nothing going for her.
You are a scumbag. You know she isn't useless and that she does a fine job around the house. I'm not sure why you despise her, but it's very inappropriate.
You should pay attention to your words. I don't mind letting everyone know my dear daughter, Ami. How bad for this father. It's best to be quiet and listen to what I have arranged for you, best not to make me feel uncomfortable and less chatter. And you should remember one thing in this family, I only have one brilliant daughter, Grain. They will be a talented and famous lawyer in the future. People will know her wonderful dad only. Hey! What in the world is going on? Have you gotten any word on what happened?
What do you desire? I assumed you were the one who warned me not to contact you again. Have you forgotten? Stating I'm not your daughter and that I'm a total stranger?
Why are you disturbing me out of nowhere? It appears that you are not only unattractive, but also a poor listener. What I meant was that you should never contact me again. I never said anything about my inability to reach you.
That one-sided logic makes no sense.
Anyway, enough of this chit-chat. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer truthfully. What the hell happened to your mother? She mentioned she was going out this morning and hasn't returned.
You're rather sluggish for someone who constantly puts me down, aren't you? It appears that you are still unaware of what is going on. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
What the hell are you on about? Tell me all you knew.
I'll leave you with a hint. Take a look in the refrigerator. There's something in there that I think you'll find fascinating.
What the hell? You better not have done anything strange. I don't want to go in there and find a nasty supper waiting for me. Huh? What am I now looking at?
Open it up, please.
Can I inquire as to why the divorce papers have been suddenly placed on the table?
Mom was probably simply trying to be wise and think of the most likely location for you to discover them. Because you're always moving back and forth from the table, it felt like the greatest spot. You'd never locate it if she put it somewhere else, like the drawers. You spend the entire day moaning on your phone and munching chips while watching TV. I'm very surprised it took you this long to locate it.
Well, just wait a minute. Enough of the insults. Why am I staring at divorce papers right now? I haven't even mentioned divorce to your mom. We never reached this arrangement.
She was tired of being rude and always blaming everyone. The people Dad doesn't like, including me. Dad treated me badly. Dad just made things out of hand.
But she didn't have any money or any skills to make any money. I'm sure she'll come back when I'm not around. She would go around and ask for every penny just to make money. I guess it.
In comparison to you, I believe she possesses a number of admirable characteristics. You're not in a position to dismiss her.
I am not expecting my awful ungrateful daughter to realize what a terrific man I am.
You are correct. I have no notion what you're talking about when you talk like that.
All is enough. Will you answer my query or not? What happened to your mother?
She's seated immediately next to me.
Huh? What? Tell her to come home immediately and serve the cooking immediately. It was evening time and still not at home. She will regret her stupidity.
Don't you understand the problem? She doesn't want to come back anymore. The divorce papers she signed. She said to complete the divorce papers, she will complete the formalities. And she doesn't want to see you again.
So you're getting a divorce now. It will be a lengthy procedure, and the financing must be worked out. Fortunately, she has previously spoken with a lawyer about this. Sorry? What about the money? There is no way to straighten out the funds. That's my cash.
Unfortunately for you, the money you make from your retirement is split between you and my mother. She will receive a portion of it.
Are you totally insane? That's my hard-earned cash. Nobody except myself has access to that. And just so you know, you're not even getting a whiff of it. Either you or your terrible mother.
There's a strong argument that we can acquire that money, otherwise, I would not be having this talk. Don't suppose that's the end of it. We should end the story here because Dad won't be able to change anything. She's so prepared to go to court. We were able to obtain consolation money and finances precisely managed with the aid of a knowledgeable attorney. My father, unable to handle the sorrow of losing his family, turned to gambling to alleviate his grief. It was a poor thinking for him, but he deserves to pay for any harm he caused me. Despite dabbling in gambling, my father's earnings were modest. He became impoverished in a short amount of time. The debt piled up, he had to run away from his father. We had a long time to avoid the trouble he brought back to the family. My company worked and went into orbit. My sister, after making files, got a college degree and officially worked.
How has your day at work been? We are longing for your presence. Do you have any intentions of returning home in the near future?
Oh no, feel free to proceed and rest now.
Are you once again working late tonight? You've been experiencing a lack of sleep lately. Are you certain it's all right for you to be at the office this late once more?
I'll be fine. I have a substantial amount of work that needs to be completed tomorrow. It'll be easier for me to get a little sleep that way, and then be back to work first thing in the morning.
What about Demon's soccer game tomorrow? You are still planning on being there, right?
Oh crap. I completely forgot. Is that tomorrow?
You promised Demon you would be there to cheer her on. You can't break that promise. Not again.
I don't think I'm going to have a choice. Will you apologize to her for me?
You can't do this again. How many times is this now? You do this all the time. You also told her you would be there to see her school play. And then you canceled at the last minute.
I know. I feel really bad about it. I really can't tomorrow though. Please let her know that I'm sorry.
All you do is isolate yourself with your work lately. We never see you anymore. Will you at least be home on Saturday? Can't anyone else take on the work? Just this once?
My company is in the middle of business negotiations right now, so that's all we have been able to focus on most days. Tomorrow is the only chance I will have to get my regular work done. I know I told you about this. And on top of that, one of my colleagues is pushing hard for the same promotion I am right now. I really am busier now than I ever have been. Please try to understand.
This is your arrival that you told me about before, right?
Yeah, it's the same guy. I really can't let myself lose to him. And if I take a day off in the middle of these negotiations, I definitely will.
Demon has been so focused on practicing for this game. She's really looking forward to showing you how much work she has put in. I've never seen her so excited about something. You have no idea how much you would be letting her down if you don't show up.
I don't have a choice. What do you want me to do? She will have other games. This may be the only chance I get at this promotion. I will be there for the next game. I swear.
How many times have you said that now? You still haven't been to a single game yet. I understand that you need to take your work seriously, but you also have a responsibility to your family that you've been neglecting. You haven't been there for a single school event, no games, nothing. Can't you see that you mean the world to her? She needs to see that you are there for her. Why can't you understand that? You should see how sad and lonely she is when you aren't here.
Just stop. You're only making things worse. I am only working so hard to take care of the two of you. The better I do at work, the more money I make.
Of course I know that. But what is the point in getting ahead in your career if it comes at the expense of spending time with the people that matter to you? And you are already making enough to take care of us in your current position.
So what? Are you trying to tell me that all this work I'm doing is completely in vain? Our entire way of life, our money, our house, everything, is entirely thanks to my job.
Don't lie to me. Your work is about you. You want to get ahead in life only so you can show off. It has nothing to do with providing for me and Demon. If it did, you would make a point of being with us. If you always put your work as your first priority, you will wake up one day to the fact that you are completely disconnected from your family.
Disconnected?
How can you expect Demon to feel any affection towards you as her parent, if you never show up when you say you will or if you are never at home? By the time you notice the rift growing between you, it will be too late. You'll wake up one day to notice that she won't have the affection for you that she does now.
Wow. By your words, it sounds like you might not love me anymore either. What kind of cruel kind of prediction is that?
Because you won't show your reflection for Demon at all. What else do you expect? You've broken promise after promise. At this rate, it will be only natural if she doesn't feel a connection to you as she gets older.
You're expecting too much out of mine and Demon's relationship. This is a normal way for a father to interact with his child, whether it is a son or a daughter. I get it might seem strange, but there have been plenty of times that I didn't talk to my father much either.
Talking to your parents less after you've become an adult, with your own life and your own family, is one thing. But Demon is still young. She doesn't understand why her father shows so little interest in her. She is left to feel like her father does not really love her. As she gets older, that gap between you will widen until you have no relationship at all. And probably sooner than you think.
You could say that's a good thing, though. She needs to be independent someday.
How can you be so unfeeling? Haven't you seen the stories of people dying alone lately because they are so disconnected from their families that no one comes to see them? With the way your relationship is going with Demon, you might end up just like them.
Oh, come on. That's a really dramatic conclusion to reach. And it'll never happen like that with me and Demon.
I don't understand how you can believe that when she's only 8 years old and you are already so distant. At this rate, in 10 years she will have no interest in you whatsoever. How can you be okay with not having any kind of relationship with her?
Of course, I'm not okay with it. I do want us to have a good relationship.
Really? If so, please think about what I've said. Think about your relationship with Demon and your behavior towards us as a family. I'm not at all saying that you should give up on your dreams and ambitions with your career. Just please try to find a balance that allows you to spend a little time with Demon.
No, I understand. Maybe I have been a bit too single-minded about work. I promise, I will make more of an effort to be there for Demon's games. I'll try to set aside more time to be with the two of you.
I will tell Demon that you won't be able to make it to the game tomorrow morning. Would you mind at least calling her before the game to wish her luck? That way she at least hears from you, and I know your encouragement would mean the world to her.
Yeah, I can do that. What the hell? Why are you blowing up my phone? I told you not to contact me while I'm at work. I'm in the middle of an important meeting.
I'm sorry, but it's an emergency. Something terrible happened. Demon was hurt in an accident. You need to come to the hospital right now.
What happened? Is she okay?
Someone on a bicycle ran into her.
Are you kidding me? It was just a bicycle accident? Don't contact me about this kind of thing unless it's serious.
But she was bleeding.
Yeah, that happens in minor accidents the same as major ones. You are totally overreacting to a bicycle accident. These things happen.
I'm telling you, it wasn't just a bike accident. If you would just listen to me for a second. You need to come to the hospital.
I'm not leaving work for something as small as this. Do not bother me at work for this kind of thing. I have to go back to the meeting now. You can take care of this yourself.
No, wait. Please don't ignore me, you don't understand.
I'm finally done working for the day. I'm sorry about earlier. Like I said, I got your calls in the middle of an important meeting. I thought something major might have happened. I'm heading to the hospital now. How is Demon doing?
Don't bother coming. You've said and done enough. The last thing I want right now is to have to see your face.
Come on, don't be upset with me. Maybe I shouldn't have said what I did. But I've asked you not to bother me at work.
Yeah, right. I interrupted your big important meeting. Was it really so important?
It really was. That's why I got so angry. How far I can go in my career depends on the success of every business meeting.
So work and meetings will always be your first priority? Even over our daughter? Is it so impossible to put our daughter first? Even once?
What exactly would you have me do? Drop everything for every single phone call or text? Regardless of the time or of the situation? Should I have ignored a meeting that is critical to my career for the sake of a bike accident?
That's what I was trying to tell you. It wasn't just a bike accident. But your work takes priority even over our daughter's life, right?
Oh, please. Her life? You're blowing this way out of proportion.
Demon was seriously injured. She is in critical condition right now.
She's what?
But it's just a bike accident, right? And I'm blowing things out of proportion? I asked you to come as fast as you could. You flat out refused to listen to a word I said.
Wait, what do you mean she's in critical condition? You did say it was a bike accident, right?
She was hit by a road racing bike. Those things go just as fast as a car. She has a serious head injury from the crash. The doctors have her in the operating room right now. I don't know how long they will be with her.
No, this can't be real. This is some kind of sick joke, right? What about the soccer game?
The game ended a long time ago. And of course, you didn't call her. Just more broken promises. She waited all morning for you to call her.
Crap. I'm sorry. I forgot that I said I would call her.
That's all you can say? You forgot? You always forget. But I bet you never forget anything at work.
I got caught up in doing some work all night and didn't go to sleep until nearly dawn. I remembered at around 3 p.m. that I was supposed to call. Really, I meant to call her.
It's always the same with you. Always ready with a lame excuse. You refuse to see that it is Demon who gets hurt by all your cancellations and broken promises. She was fighting back tears when we left for the game.
I wanted to be there. I was planning on going to one of her soccer games as soon as I had a little free time.
Stop making excuses. It's your fault that she was in the accident in the first place. She wanted to make a stop on the way home after her game was over. She asked if we could go to the sweet shop near our house. The one with the locally made dark chocolate that you like?
I know it. But Emma doesn't really like most of what they have there. What did she want there?
She wanted for you to care about her. She wanted to buy you the chocolate that you love so that you would pay attention to her.
She wanted to go for me?
The accident happened on the way back home. If you had been to the game like you promised, she wouldn't have felt the need to try and buy your attention. That's all I can think about right now. She is hurt right now and she wouldn't be if you had just kept your promise.
That's ridiculous. This has nothing to do with me. She's hurt because you weren't watching her like you should have.
I was walking behind her the whole time. Don't try and lecture me about something you didn't even see. The bike rode straight through a red light without ever slowing down. There was nothing that I could have done. Believe me, I wish there was. And let me guess. Next, you're going to say it was Demon's fault for wanting to go to the sweet shop in the first place.
You should have at least held her hand. Who lets the kid her age walk by themselves?
She's not a baby anymore. You might have noticed that if you had anything to do with raising her. And since you have never taken part in raising her, you don't get to say things like that to me.
She may not be a baby, but you should still be holding her hand and keeping her safe.
You do know that she's 8 years old now, right? We are well past the age where she needs her hand held all the time. She goes to school and walks home by herself. She rides her bike to her friend's house all the time. It's idiotic to say that she still needs her hand held all the time. It just shows how detached you really are from her life.
Look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. I shouldn't be trying to put the blame on you. I'm just panicking.
Does panicking make it okay to accuse me of neglecting my daughter? I've heard that it is in situations just like this that people show their true nature. I guess now I know how you actually feel about me. I'm glad I finally understand. You want to relieve yourself of any blame by putting it all on me.
No, that's not it.
I don't believe you.
Have the doctor said anything else about Demon? Is she going to be okay? Hey! Why aren't you responding? What happened? How is Demon? Any improvement?
What do you mean? You haven't had any interest in your family before this. Why would you suddenly care now?
That's not true, and you know it. I've been so worried about her that I can barely focus on anything. I haven't been able to get any work done for the past 3 days.
Have you spoken to your parents in the last few days? Unlike you, they rushed to the hospital as soon as they could when they heard she was injured. And their home is further away from the hospital than your office is. Yet they still managed to beat you here.
I know. I was wrong. How many more times do you want to hear it? I didn't react when you slapped me because I know I deserved it.
Do you remember the looks on both of our parents' faces when you finally arrived? I hope their cold looks made you feel unwelcome. It was a relief when your mom and dad kicked you out of the room.
They just wanted me to give you some space and told me to try not to upset you for a little while. Dad said you were angry enough without me being in the room and to just let you be.
Your father said that, did he? If you had stayed in the room any longer, I don't think I would have been satisfied with just slapping you.
Look, I know you're upset with me, but please come back home. Let's talk about this in person. Besides, your parents' house is even further from the hospital. It would be easier for you to visit Demon if you came back home.
Absolutely not. I told you, your face is the last thing I want to see right now. I can handle the commute from here.
But I can't take care of this house forever on my own. I don't know what I'm doing trying to take care of the house.
At a time like this, you're worried about who is going to take care of household chores. Surely you can manage to take care of things as simple as sweeping and laundry on your own. I can't believe this. I am so fed up with you.
No. That's not what I meant. I just meant that the house should be clean for when Demon comes home from the hospital.
As far as that goes, the state of the house doesn't matter. She's not going back there when she is released from the hospital. If you are worried about the house being dirty, you should probably learn how to take care of it yourself.
What? What do you mean Demon won't be returning here?
Demon woke up.
She did? That's great.
But she may never be fully healed. The doctors say she will likely have ongoing problems as a result of her injuries.
Ongoing problems? Like what?
She has a memory disorder now. She has lost all her memories of you.
Memories of me?
Yes, just you. She remembers who she is, who I am, and who her friends from school are.
She doesn't remember me at all? Absolutely nothing? But I'm her father.
That's true. Yet somehow, her memories with you are the only ones that she can't seem to recall.
How could she forget me? How is that even possible?
I don't know how people's brains work. But according to the doctors, it does apparently happen sometimes. People lose specific memories while keeping others.
But the memories can return, right? There have to be cases where a person's memories came back after they lost them.
I have no idea. It could turn out to be a temporary thing, and her memories gradually return over time. Or it could be this way for the rest of her life and her memory never returns.
But this doesn't make sense. How can she only forget one person? Her own father?
The doctors say they can only guess. But I think it's because she's been hurt by you so many times. I think forgetting you is the way that Demon protected herself.
What the hell does that mean?
If she doesn't remember you, then she doesn't have to feel the pain of thinking that you don't care about her. She doesn't have to feel the hurt and sense of betrayal that your absence and broken promises cause. Yes, it means she loses her memories of you and won't feel any affection toward you. But she also doesn't have to deal with your rejection anymore.
Betrayal? Did I really hurt her as bad as that? To the point that she wanted to forget about me?
Honestly, I don't know. It's only a guess. But it is strange that, out of all the people she knows, you are the only one that she forgot. To be honest, I wish I could forget about you too.
What are you saying? Please, don't joke like that. It's not funny.
Who said I was joking? I have already been in contact with an attorney. He is beginning the process of filing for a divorce.
Wait, now you want a divorce?
I can't do this anymore, Jack. I can't even look at you anymore. Not without thinking about Demon getting hurt in so many ways. The only feeling I have left for you is disgust.
I don't understand. You don't love me anymore.
I don't. And I can't continue living my life with you.
Please don't say that. I can make it up. I'll be better than I have been. A better man, a better husband, a better father. I swear I will. I never should have left you and Demon alone so much. I realize that now.
How many times did I warn you this was coming? How many times did I beg you to see? You can say you're sorry until you're blue in the face. I don't believe you'll ever change. No matter what I said, you never listened. It's too late now.
This time is different. I can change.
I don't believe you. Me and Demon will not be let down by you anymore.
Look, I understand how you feel, but divorce is not the answer. I don't want to live without you.
Whether it happens now or somewhere else down the line, it will happen. It would be impossible to fix this. We can't go back to being the family that we were before. Our family will be torn apart.
That's not true.
I don't feel any love for you anymore. Not after this. And to Demon, you're already just another stranger on the street. The family we were is gone.
Please, I'm begging you. Don't cut me out like this. Please don't kick me out of my own family.
You were the one that purposefully isolated yourself from our family and focused solely on work. If anyone cut you out of the family, it was you. The inevitable result of your decision to isolate yourself is that your child would forget you. I ended my marriage shortly after that. Both his parents and mine stood by me during the divorce, despite his resistance throughout the process. However, our families managed to persuade him to come to his senses and consent to the divorce. Subsequently, I started receiving monthly financial support from him, which greatly aided in the upbringing of our daughter. I heard that since he began residing alone, he has been unable to concentrate on his work. His professional performance suffered significantly following his defeat in a fierce rivalry with his coworker. He fell into depression that started his life on a downward spiral, and he ended up leaving his career behind altogether. As for Demon, she was released from the hospital and has recently been able to start walking to school on her own again. She smiles more and is livelier than she ever was before her accident. She has not mentioned or asked about her father even once. Either she has conveniently forgotten or she is deliberately suppressing memories of him. It seems implausible that she will completely erase him from her memory. However, as long as she finds happiness, that is the most important thing to me.
Alice, your food is terrible. Once again, I discarded it in the garbage.
Did you throw it all away? I haven't eaten yet.
If you're so eager to consume it, feel free to retrieve it from the trash and indulge yourself. To a piece of trash like you, it makes no difference whether it's on a plate or in the trash, does it?
What made you discard it without consulting me beforehand? I made the food for myself.
Such rubbish wouldn't even be devoured by a pig. If you want it so badly, go and get it.
You don't have to say it like that.
We're going out to eat. You can stay at home and make yourself more trash if you like.
Hold on. I used up all the ingredients I had to make that.
Yeah? So what?
There's nothing left in the house for me to eat. You threw it all away.
Well, if you don't want to eat from the trash, then you can go out on your own. Or would it be too sad and lonely to go eat out all by yourself? Especially in that stupid wheelchair of yours.
I don't mind going out alone. I just don't like eating out.
I don't care what you like and don't like to do. Why do I have to care about a useless disabled person like you? You don't even go to work or do any chores around the house. You should be grateful that we're paying for your expenses.
You're not really paying for my expenses. I'm paying all the expenses every month. I even told you before I work from home.
You're lying! A disabled person like you has no way of making money. You're useless! Anyways, have fun staying at home all alone with no food.
Well, I guess I'll get some delivery pizza then.
What? Don't go spending our money without our permission. That's my son's blood, sweat, and tears. Only my son, and I get to spend it.
I was going to use my money to pay for it anyways. Don't worry.
By the way, we're going on a trip next week.
Are you? Have fun. Are you going with your husband?
No, it's a family trip. Everybody's going.
Huh?
Well, everyone except for you, of course. Didn't Tony tell you?
No, he didn't say anything about it. What do you mean everyone in the family is going? Who's going?
It'll be me, my husband, and my son. Also, my daughter and her family are coming too. We're going to have fun without you since you'd be such a burden if you came along with us.
That's what I thought. You really hate me.
I didn't say anything like that now, did I? Don't put words into my mouth, young lady. We just don't have the time and energy to look after someone in a wheelchair. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry, but you'll have to stay home.
Fine. I'll stay. But can you please stop saying stuff like I'm useless or I'm a burden to the family? I have feelings too. It's not like I get to choose to be or not to be in a wheelchair.
So what? You think you're the only person who doesn't have choices. I didn't choose you to be in our family. I don't know why my son chose to be with you. I won't take back what I said. You really are a burden to this family.
You don't have to be so harsh on me. But now I understand. That's how you really feel about me.
I'm not the only one who feels this way about you.
Huh?
Tony regrets marrying you. Nobody wants you here anymore. Why are you still here?
Did Tony really say that about me?
Of course, why wouldn't he? That's why I'm helping him.
Helping him with what?
So that he can divorce you and find someone better. I'm helping him look for a new partner.
A new partner?
I really hope he finds someone soon. You should start packing your stuff to leave. Soon there will be no place for you here anymore.
You've been treating me like a housemaid. No, more like a slave. And yet you were planning to get rid of me all along. I see I'm no longer wanted here. Have fun at your family trip. A few minutes later. I heard you're going on a family trip this weekend. A family trip that everyone in the family is going on except for me.
Who told you that? My mom? I was going to tell you eventually.
Tell me what?
The hotel she reserved for the trip is not wheelchair friendly. So I'm sorry we can't take you with us this time.
You had no intention on bringing me along, did you?
What? No! Don't be silly. Come on, lighten up the bit.
Do you think I'm a burden too? Ever since your mom moved in to live with us, you started coming home late every night. You ignore everything I say about your mom. You've changed.
Do you really think I've changed? Well, a lot has been going on ever since she started living with us. I don't want to come back from work to just get even more tired seeing you and my mom fight.
So you don't care when your mom says horrible things to me?
That's not what I'm saying. I just want you to get along with each other. But your fights have got nothing to do with me. So leave me out of all that.
It has everything to do with you. She's living here with us because she's your mother.
Oh, shut up already. You're so annoying. It just makes it harder for us when you come on our trips because of your wheelchair. That's why my mom told you not to come, so what am I supposed to do?
So you do think I'm a burden?
Well, that's how everyone feels about wheelchairs. That's not something I can change.
Something you can't change. All right. Fine. That's enough. That was a lot of fun. I almost forgot how fun it is to go on trips when we're not held back by useless package like you. I'm so glad we left you at home. I told you that I make money on my own from home, and yet you keep saying that I'm useless? Why are you getting worked up so suddenly? You don't need to make up lies to try and win me over. It won't work. As if you can really make money on your own when you can't even walk using your own legs. It must be so much fun going on a trip while also looking down on me at the same time. Oh yeah! I'm having the time of my life. The trip was just so good without you. Well, good for you. Not that I really care. But good for you. I can't say this enough. The trip was a million times better without you and your stupid wheelchair. By the way, we're on the way back, so start making dinner so we have something to eat right away. I'm not there. Huh? I moved out and I'm not coming back. So I'm not cooking dinner for you. I'm not doing any house chores.
I'm not paying for anything anymore.
What? You left already? You're really not coming back? You could at least have said goodbye first. Who taught you your manners?
Aren't you happy that you'll get back from your family fun trip without having to ever see me again?
You're such a wuss for running away like this. Not that I care. Now Tony can focus on finding his new partner.
I could tell from the day I met you, but you're really a horrible person. Did you know that? I'll get divorced from Tony soon, so you don't have to worry about me getting in the way of finding your new daughter-in-law.
Oh, perfect, thanks. It would be such a pain if we had to get a lawyer involved to get rid of you.
We'll see about that. It's still up to you whether you're going to need a lawyer or not. I'm already getting prepared for it.
What? You're starting to talk nonsense, but I'll let you go. It doesn't really matter anyways. Don't you ever show up in our lives again with your stupid wheelchair.
I don't intend to. Goodbye.
Hey, you! What's all this about?
What are you fussing about?
Where's all the furniture? Where are all the electronics and everything we had in the house? Did you steal them?
What do you mean I stole them? I only took the things that belong to me.
What? Things that belong to you? Nothing in this house belonged to you. How did you move all the stuff out in just 2 days?
Well, I was getting tired of being in this house for a while now. So I was already ready to move out. Did you forget that you made us replace all the furniture and electronics because you thought they were too old and used up?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Especially your couch was so dirty and disgusting. It really needed replacing. But Tony also bought some of the stuff, didn't he? give him back the things that belong to him. Are you too stupid to understand that not everything belongs to you?
You're the one who's not understanding this.
What?
Your son didn't buy a thing.
What are you saying?
Tony got fired from his job. Now he's working at a minimum wage. Part-time.
He's working part-time?
He doesn't get paid vacation, nor does he get any of the benefits he had before. He uses up all his money on himself, so he's never bought anything for the house or for both of us to use. So I bought all the stuff that I took. I also paid for all the utilities in the house.
What? Then what has my Robert been doing with his free time?
Beats me. Maybe he was looking for a new partner like you said.
No way! I don't believe you. Give us back what belongs to Tony. I'll sue you. You thief.
Go ahead. I have proof that I bought it all myself. I keep all my receipts.
Do you really?
Yes, I told you I'm prepared. Do you get it now? I can take everything in that house. I bought every single thing with my money.
But Tony has been paying the mortgage for this house. It's not like he really spends it all on himself.
No. I've been paying the mortgage this whole time.
What? So you didn't know?
I never told you because I didn't want you to think less of your son. But I guess he was happy to make me seem like I was the useless one.
What? I don't get what you're saying.
You've been saying things like I'm useless and that I'm a burden to the family. But you know I ended up in a wheelchair because of Tony, don't you?
Because of Tony?
So you didn't know about that either. Well, I'd rather not get into that with someone like you anyway. I'm getting divorced, so let's just keep talking about money. I may be in a wheelchair, but I can work. I've made enough money and have plenty of savings to hire a lawyer. She'll be contacting you guys soon enough.
A lawyer? Why do you need a lawyer?
For the divorce, dummy. I'm going to make sure to take Robert for everything I can get. And to avoid having to respond to your crazy requests.
Why should he have to give you anything?
Because of you. You told me that he's looking for a new partner. So I made sure to get proof that he's cheating on me. Thanks to you, I'll be getting a lot of money from this divorce.
I can't believe you're doing this to us. There's no way we're paying you anything. Why would we ever do that?
Well, it's the law. We were a husband and a wife, and he cheated on me while we were still married. I have the right to compensation.
What do you mean you have the right?
Anyways, shouldn't you stop wasting your time talking to me? And start looking for a job to start making some money?
What? Why do I have to look for a job?
Well, apparently your husband lost all of his savings on gambling.
What?
So he's been asking me to let him borrow some money.
He never told me that.
It seems that he's not working either. You really don't know much about your family, do you?
Were you trying to get close with my husband? Why do you know all that?
No. It's just that I was always home. And I could hear everyone's phone conversations, your conversations. Made me really worried to be a part of this family. I'm glad to be leaving it.
Hold on. Then what'll happen to us once you're gone? How are we going to pay for the house? The expenses? The furniture and everything else we need?
That's why I said you should get a job. Good luck finding one. So I guess this is it. Don't ever try to contact me again. Goodbye. Sorry, I was so useless and a burden to you.
Upon discovering Alice's departure, the entire family became filled with panic. Maya managed to coax Tony into revealing all the things he had been concealing from her. Upon receiving legal notifications from Alice's attorney, the family experienced another wave of panic. Maya's husband abruptly resigned from his job without informing her and accumulated significant debt, resulting in complete chaos within the family. Tony and his father became furious with Maya for pressuring Alice to leave the house, while Maya was equally enraged with them for quitting their jobs without informing her. Although they were busy assigning blame to each other, it was clear that they were all at fault and had no one else to hold accountable.